Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the St. Francis Holiday Hoop Fest here at St. Francis High School. We now present a quarterfinal game in the tournament featuring the Pilibos Eagles and Mira Costa Mustangs. It's time to announce the starters. First, for Pilibos, a sophomore, number 20, Dimo Galajian. A junior, number 5, Alex Andreasian. A senior, number 4, David Boyajian. A senior, number 3, Eric Honanian. And a senior, number 24, Antranik Anto Balian. Pilibos is coached by assistants Berj Krikorian, Emin Garibi, and Sevak Andreasian under head coach Sako Balian. And now the starters for the Mira Costa Mustangs. A senior, number 14, Luke Hammerschmidt. A senior, number 4, Bryson Breiker. A senior, number 2, Christian Kranz. A senior, number 3, Jacob De Almas. And a senior, number 12, Eneasi Easy Piulini. The Mustangs are coached by assistants Neil Hyams, Jordan Mays, Greg Sarkisian, Jay Stewart, and Gordon Sutton under head coach Neil Perlmutter. St. Francis Holiday Hoop Fest quarterfinal game, Mira Costa Mustangs and Pilibos Eagles.
And right on cue, Matt Seska bringing us live. Welcome back to Less Than Reputable. I am Alexis Moore, joined by my esteemed colleague, Matthew R. Seska. Don't actually know if the R is his middle initial. We got a great one for you on hand, though. Mira Costa Mustangs playing host as the home team to the Pilibos Eagles. This should be another heavyweight fight, and Jacob De Armas, last player, day one player of the game for Mira Costa, getting it done early with a three-point corner shot to give Mira Costa the early lead. Matt, I'm really looking forward to this matchup. Pilibos, a very, very well-executing team. They cut well, they move the basketball, as you can see there. There's a bucket there by Bilajian to get things going for for Pilibos, but really excited for this matchup. You have a high-executing, efficient offense in Pilibos and a very athletic, sharp-shooting team in the Mustangs. That's back-to-back threes, Matt, just in case you weren't keeping up.
Yeah, I mean, Mira Costa coming out the gates ready to play. This is the second of our championship bracket game today. The first game between Oak Hills and Westlake certainly didn't disappoint. Balian, who just missed the shot there, obviously a big factor for Pilibos. He drives their entire offense and really their entire team as they go ahead and take their first timeout here.
It's interesting, Matt. You know, this is a quick timeout. Obviously, Pilibos doesn't want to get behind here, but you've already had 2 3-pointers made, and you've had an easy transition basket. Now they're in the hole, about 6 points here. What are you thinking that they're going to make the adjustment to try and neutralize some of the effective things that Mira Costa's done earlier?
Yeah, it's early, so hopefully they're sticking to their basics and, you know, just trying to slow down. Mira Costa came out really hot, so let's slow down their momentum. Let's get back on track. Let's stick to what we game planned. And for those of you watching online, to put names to the face, I'm Matt Seska. This is Alexis Moore. Again, we're super excited for this second game in the championship bracket of the St. Francis Holiday Hoop Fest.
This should be a fun one. Pilibos to inbound in the backcourt. Very efficient. There's that efficient press breaker right there. Just took 3 passes.
Yeah, we saw in that Westlake Oak Hills game, we saw the press kind of go against Oak Hills at certain times. It certainly worked there for Mira Costa.
Mira Costa in that last game, Matt, they had 5 players score in double figures. Pretty much every really balanced, efficient scoring output from the Mustangs in that first game against Long Beach Wilson.
Yeah, and they're coming out strong once again as we have a jump ball there. I don't think Pilibos wants to be playing from behind. I don't think that's the style of basketball their team is going to be best at or thrive in, especially against a Mira Costa team that is well coached, well disciplined, and really a lot of weapons, as you mentioned, multiple people in double digits the last game. So really got to make sure you can't let everybody get too easy of baskets here. Don't want to let the whole team warm up, you know?
That they can't. The other thing that I'm noticing as well, Matt, that might prove to be a challenge for Pilibos. Mira Costa has tons of height. The average height on this team is about 6'4". They've got an incredibly deep bench. They obviously rotate a lot of guys. As I mentioned, they had 5 players score in double figures last game. So they're very deep. They love to press, as you can see. Pilibos is going to have their work cut out for them, getting to the open spot and trying to not play into Mira Costa, trying to speed them up.
Yeah, as you mentioned, not only does Mira Costa have a lot of depth, Pilibos does not. I'm looking at 3 people on Pilibos' bench here, whereas Mira Costa almost has 2 more starting 5s sitting down. In the last game, Balian saw a lot of those as well. He was 1 for 9 from deep. Certainly we don't expect him to shoot like that once again here, but we're gonna need some easy baskets. He shot 2 now, been pretty tough looks. In order to get him going, not saying he can't make those shots, but let's try and get some easy ones for our best player here. Get him warmed up, so those tough ones don't seem so tough.
Number 24 for Pilibos, Antranik Balian. He is their go-to guy. He was the player of the game for them against a tough victory in that first day matchup. He scored 24 points. He will have to get going soon.
Yeah, a lot of trouble with the press right now. Mira Costa is getting exactly what they want from it.
And that's exactly what Pilibos is going to have to do if they want to stay in this game. Get out in transition and draw the foul. There's Balian doing a 3-point play the old-fashioned way, getting to the line and getting that bucket to go.
Yeah, what I like most about that, easy basket, right? In transition, getting a nice layup.
That's what you want to see, pure and eagle. Pilibos not putting anybody on the free throw lane. They knew it was good.
Yeah,
Balian was going to complete the 3-point play, get back in defense.
Yeah, again, I mean, Mira Costa's been running them. They don't have a lot of depth. Conserving energy every step of the way, I think it's a smart move. Tough finish there from McCarthy Bedner. And as you mentioned, 6'5".
A lot of height on this Mira Costa Mustang team. And there's a much-needed 3. That's David Boyajian with a corner 3 and cuts the Mira Costa lead to 4. Well, the other thing that we haven't really mentioned a lot of this weekend, Matt, that I do want to draw attention to, because I think it's an important part of the game. A lot of good footwear that we're seeing from the players out here. A lot of good sneakers. Seeing some Grinch Kobe 6s. See some Girl Dad Kobe 4s.
The game has certainly changed. When we were playing back in our days, I don't think they even allowed different colored shoes than your team at the NBA level. Now the NBA a little bit more free with what players can wear, and that's certainly trickling down here to the high school level.
It definitely is. There's that great cutting offense that the Pilibos Eagles utilized in their first game, working well for them. Back to within 4.
Hi, Nancy. Thank you for joining the chat. We appreciate you watching in. Big Mira Costa fan, it sounds like here. She's the grandma for Royce and Pax.
Awesome. Thank you for joining us, Nancy. Exciting game underway. Mira Costa Mustangs up 4, 3 minutes left in this first period. Mustangs doing a good job of speeding the Eagles up. Eagles have started to settle into their half-court offense here. Open 3 off the front rim and collected, headed the other way. That was Luke Hammerschmidt cleaning up the boards. It's a walk-in 3 by Jaden Kanesinger. Can't get that one to go.
Pilibos is going to have to limit those offensive rebounds. Mira Costa's big, going to have to box out. It's going to be a dogfight for Pilibos if they want to maintain any type of closeness on the boards here.
Mira Costa, they missed enough shots and tapped their own rebounds. They're so tall, they look like a volleyball team out there, Matt.
I'm sure there's a beach pretty close. They're from Manhattan Beach.
It's a great beach volleyball tournament in Manhattan Beach called Six Man. It's a lot of fun. It's over the summer if you happen to make your way down here.
Balian with another tough shot. I mean, that's who he is, right? He's a tough shot taker, but most importantly, he's a tough shot maker as well as he grabs a big rebound there.
Skies for the board. He's going to walk into a 3 right there. The visiting crowd would have went crazy had that one dropped. Back the other way, and Mustangs draw a foul.
Nice take to the basket there by Kranz.
Number 4, Ali Boyadjian. First personal, first team foul.
We got just under 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter, again, of the championship bracket here in the St. Francis Holiday Hoopfest. Excited for another good game here after the Oak Hills Westlake game that came down to a buzzer beater. If you didn't get to watch that game, that's a fun watch, especially the fourth quarter. Oak Hills makes a terrific comeback, and you'll have to see the ending shot. It's pretty crazy. But don't go anywhere for now. That's for after this game. That's really for after all these games wrap here. We're going to do a fun nightcap here. The next 2 games after this are also championship bracket games. So stay tuned for a lot of fun basketball.
Mira Costa doing a really good job getting second chance opportunities, not letting them go to waste. Got away. I was about to say got away with the push off there, but I think he might have well taken it out in the ad in LA Times. Everyone saw that one coming. It's gonna be an offensive foul on the Mustangs. That one goes against Enisi Chiwalaini.
We got DeArmas coming back in here. He was the player of the game.
He had a great dunk in that first game.
I think he had a few, actually.
You tell he wanted another one.
We are a few rows back here in the stands doing our announcing. I didn't think a ball could come up and make our way here, but day 2 of the tournament proves me wrong.
Anything is possible at the St. Francis Holiday Hoop Fest.
Tough pass there.
And that's that pressure. That's the pressure that Mira Costa has been really, really effective at placing on the teams that they played, speeding the guys up, really forcing those turnovers. What should have been probably a completed pass ends up being a little too high and results in a turnover.
Yeah, tough place to catch the ball there in general. He kind of walked into a double team. As Bednar hits his second basket of the game, this one being of the 3-point variety. Nice shot.
There's a deep 2 right there. That one was Alex Andreasian.
A lot of threes so far here by Pilibos. That's really how they're keeping this a 5-point game. That was a travel.
And it looks like we've got another travel. 3.5 seconds. 19-14, Pilibos basketball to close out the first quarter.
See what type of shot Pilibos can get here with the press. It's going to be hard for them to make something in 3.5 seconds here. I imagine we're looking at a bit of a half-court heave, but we'll see what they can pull off. Oh, big steal by De Armas and the 3.
No good. Would have been a highlight for sure. That would have been a highlight had he been able to make that shot. Still a great steal nonetheless. Prevents Pilibos from even having an opportunity to huck up a shot. Great first quarter of basketball, Matt. What did you like from both sides?
You know, Mira Costa came out fast. I think what it was, they went up 8-0, 10-0, something like that. Pilibos came and settled in and has got to this 19-14 lead. So I think we're seeing both teams kind of starting to play their brand of basketball, which is nice. Looking forward to seeing what the stats actually say. Again, I think Mira Costa has more field goals made, if I had to guess here. But Pilibos has hit a ton of threes. Well, not really a ton, but 3 of them, which is, again, how they've been able to keep it so close.
Yeah, I think the most interesting thing about going against a team like Mira Costa, they're tall, but they're also fast. They're quick, they're athletic, but they also execute very well. They communicate well, and Coach Neil Perlmutter does a really good job of keeping his guys fresh because he has such a deep bench. So they're a very, very formidable team. The thing that I think is most interesting, kind of to the point that you made, Pilibos obviously can't really compete on the depth-wise and probably is also foregoing the athleticism. But the nice thing they've been able to do is they execute very, very well. They're very efficient in their shot taking. They were 6 of 12 in that first period in overall field goal, shooting 50%. So obviously Mira Costa is probably going to continue to try and speed them up. But if they continue to get to the open spots, minimize on the turnovers, and hit those open shots, it'll continue to be a very competitive game. And hopefully for the people tuning in, you guys have enjoyed that first quarter as the second one gets underway. Pilibos falls kind of into a matchup zone here.
Yeah, I mean, Mira Costa started the game, or started that first quarter, they had 11 rebounds. Pilibos had 6. For Pilibos' sake, that's about as far distant as they're going to want that to go. If that continues to grow at a clip of 5 differential per quarter, that's not going to be good.
That was a dime. That was an absolute dime. Wow. Balian, great pass, unable to complete the bucket.
To dive a little further, deeper as well, like something that you mentioned was Pilibos shot 50%. Mira Costa shot 38% in that first quarter. So really they shot a worse percentage, but they are up on the scoreboard, and that's because of that rebounding differential, right? Pilibos had 12 total shots. Mira Costa took 18.
That is the difference maker right there. Offensive foul, Pilibos basketball. The other thing that the press does is that, something like that. And it leads to that. Great bucket by Jacob De Armas off the pressure defense from this press. And there's an answer bucket right there.
Tough shot taker, tough shot maker.
Hey, if you got it, you got to use it. That's what I always used to say.
Yeah, I mean, we have Baliana 7 right now. I think if this game wants to go Pilibos' way, we're going to be looking for a big night from him, probably close to the 30 range.
He can definitely fill out the stat sheet. Last game, he did just that. He finished the evening with 24 points and also contributed 4 rebounds and 5 assists. I mean, we kind of talked about it. He is their go guy. But one thing that I thought was interesting that a lot of people don't want to talk about or don't forget to mention is the defensive side of basketball. He had 5 steals. Might have been one of the only 5-5-5 games we had yesterday. I have to go back and look at the stat sheet, but I mean, he was lighting it up.
Yeah, I mean, a 2-point game, they beat St. Bonaventure by. You got to do all those little things, right? You got to be on both sides of the court in order to win those tough, close ones. Another thing with his stats, too, I mentioned earlier, the 1 for 9, and some people might read that as, oh, 1 for 9, he shot terrible. I'm reading it as, well, wait till he starts making these threes. As he shoots one on cue, unfortunately misses another one, hasn't found one to go yet today. But once those start to fall, I mean, it's going to be even tougher to guard him here.
It's definitely going to be dangerous. I think that's, that's probably something that the Mustangs will have to consider. Shot takers eventually become shot makers, and even the ice coldest of people, of players, heat up eventually. It's a difficult one right there. Doesn't get that one to go. Was looking for the foul call. No whistle. Mustangs head back the other way. They're letting them play.
Another rebound by Mira Costa, though.
And it leads to a 3-ball from Jacob De Armas. He increases his point total to 8.
Yeah, we have a 9-point lead now on the game. And another steal.
Armas making it look easy. Went around the world, couldn't get the ball to drop. And there's an offensive foul. That one's going to be charged to the Mustangs.
I don't
Armas is everywhere. What a pass,
play.
Matt. Chat, go ahead and clip that. That one's going to make the highlight reel. An amazing steal and behind the back no-look pass from De Armas.
And he gets another steal here.
Draws the foul. This kid is everywhere, man.
He's going to shoot 2 at the line. De Armas was their player of the game last game, and he's certainly making a strong case to repeat here as they open it up to an 11-point lead and look to grow it further with these 2 free throws.
I think that's what you have to do. If you are a player of his caliber, senior, clearly one of the leaders, one of the go guys, one of the engines of the team, so to speak, you have to be everywhere. He's flying around the court, making plays, not just doing it on the offensive end with scoring points, even though his point total is now up to 9 with that in his free throw. But he's been everywhere on the defensive end, wreaking havoc and causing turnovers. And there's another one in the backcourt by Pilibos, Matt.
Yeah, it's interesting, too. Mira Costa, off of the missed free throw, dropped into a zone press. You don't see that too often. Off of a miss, dropping into a zone press nonetheless. That, I think, just shows, again, how well disciplined, how well coached this team really is.
Looks like there might have been some chatter, Matt.
Yeah, not sure what happened there.
It looks like there might have been a warning from the ref to a player on Pilibos. We'll have to go back and check the tape. There's a deep 3, no good. By Balian, can't get that one to fall. Still is searching for that first 3-point basket.
Yeah, 0 for 4 on the game now. think he's getting a little frustrated. Got to find himself a little bit because his team's going to need him. I'm not loving this press break by Pilibos either.
And they just blew open a 16-point lead. Mira Costa Mustangs running away with it, Matt. It's all due to the press, exactly like you said.
And I'm not loving the approach to the press break. We're putting one guy in the back, and we're putting our players in open holes, but we're having to throw skip passes, and that's exactly what Mira Costa wants, right? They're long, they're athletic. They want you to throw that long skip pass so they can use their athleticism, go get a tip, and go turn around and create a fast break on their own. So
I think what's going to be interesting too is this is the point of the game where Pilibos obviously is experiencing some frustration. This is really going to test their mettle. How do they bounce back? How do they respond moving forward is really going to be the key.
Yeah. Not only has the press affected them a lot, even the times up the court when they're getting the ball, because a lot of times they haven't even made it across half court here. They're not getting great shots on top of that. They're playing very sped up, early shot clock, tough shots, exactly what Mira Costa wants and exactly what Pilibos needs to change if they want to mount any comeback here. Still plenty of time to do so, and they definitely have the firepower with Balian.
That they do. Got a foul in the backcourt against the Mustangs. That one's going to be charged to Pax Bell, sophomore wing. Another turnover by Pilibos in the backcourt. And that's the thing is the Mustangs are able to create the turnovers in the backcourt and get right into their offensive set or score easily.
Make sure we shout out to Grandma Nancy as her grandson Pax has entered the game.
There we go. It's a much-needed shot.
Big
no
rebound.
good, but Balian showing the strength, cleaning up the dirty work. That was Alex Andreasian to get the follow of a much-needed bucket for the Eagles. And we've got, looks like a four-man sub by the Mustangs here. Four new faces on the court.
Yeah, using their depth, right?
That's why you have it. That's why you coach your guys to have that next man up mentality, and that's pretty much what the Mustangs have exemplified thus far. What a pass.
That was a great pass.
What a pass. Christian Kranz?
Yeah.
Man. You know, to your point, Matt, when Pilibos has been able to break the press, they usually are coming across the court and settling for a difficult shot, although that one was worth it. Andrenik Balian getting to the basket.
Yeah, I wanted to say maybe come give him a screen, but I don't think he needed one. Good take there by Kranz. He's gotten in the lane a couple times now here, creating some easy looks for himself and teammates. Something that Pilibos has struggled with, getting themselves. But what a finish there by Balian.
Luke Hammersmith in for Jack Mondello on the Mustangs, and David Boyajian in for Eric Monanian on the Eagles.
We thank you for joining us here at Less Than Reputable at this second of the championship side of the bracket games. We are broadcasting the remaining two games later tonight. Next game up will feature Long Beach Poly against Oak Christian High School. Should be a good one as well. Balian, difficult turnaround jumper, doesn't fall. Tipped by Kranz. They get out in transition. Gets to the basket, can't get it to go. Hammerschmidt had a chance. Mira Costa wanted a foul.
Good take to the basket.
He's starting to heat up, Matt. His point total just bounced to 11, and he cuts the Mira Costa lead to 14. They got to get a stop on this end. Hammerschmidt ducks, dives, and scores.
I believe that's only 4 points for Bali on this quarter, though. Good skip pass there.
Great skip pass.
There's the
a
three.
Much needed three basket right there. They fall back into a zone matchup, 2-3 zone.
Pilibos starting to mount some form of a comeback here. Has brought the deficit to 13 now. As De Armas pulls from deep and brings it right back to 16.
Lighten it up, 12 points in the first half to lead all scorers. Nearly had a travel call. We got a trap on the sideline. Great skip pass by Balian to get out of that jam. Quick hands of De Armas poking it away. Minute and a half left to play in the half.
Looks like Mira Costa is doubling Balian every time he catches the ball now.
Doing anything that they can. They know that this is the one guy who's going to be the offensive impact.
We got some more Mira Costa family watching here. We have Aunt Mel and Uncle Steven, I believe. Steven or Stefan, don't want to mispronounce that. Cheering on point guard Christian Kranz.
Nice, all the way from Madison, Wisconsin. We appreciate you joining us. Christian's had a great first half so far, and Mira Costa is out to a commanding 16-point lead with Luke Hammerschmidt increasing that to 17 with that free throw, and another three-man rotation by Coach Neil Perlmutter. Keeps his guys fresh. They've got a deep bench. They have played almost everybody thus far. And it has resulted in almost complete control of the game.
Yeah, they're looking 18-point game now.
Pilibos difficult, having some difficulty getting across the floor. Finally do.
Yeah, a lot of trouble with the press all game here. Good finish inside.
That was a baby head fake. That was a little head nod.
Nice use of the left hand as well.
Yeah.
Could be starting to see some fatigue as well. Mira Costa cycling guys in and out. Pilibos just brought in some new ones, but still working with limited depth.
Yeah, they have a limited roster of only 8 guys, it looks like, dressed for tonight's game. Whereas Mira Costa, as Matt mentioned, has a small football team on their side. They've got about 14 players dressed.
Yeah, they can run some 7-on-7 for sure.
De Armas tough corner three doesn't go. And they get it out. Balian leaking the other way. Gets the layup on the other end. 4 seconds, probably the last shot right here. De Armas gets all the way to the cup with the up, under, around the world. We'll take that too, thank you very much. Mira Costa, 45-29 is the score going into halftime. Pilibos has to be gassed. Mira Costa looking to keep their foot on the gas, Matt. Should be an exciting second half of basketball when we come back.
Yeah, I mean, Mira Costa got everything that they wanted in that first half. As Lex mentioned, we can't stay here too much for much halftime analysis, as you could probably hear the music playing. We don't want to get any copyright fines, so we'll be back after the half. Thank you for joining us.
Back for the second half of action. Mira Costa leading the Pilibos Eagles by 16 points. Matt, in that first half, we had a couple of key players. Antrenek Balian had 13 points and 8 rebounds, and David Boyajian had 8 points as well for the Pilibos Eagles. On the other side, Jacob De Armas had 14 points and 5 assists, as well as 3 steals. And number 11, Inyasi Biolani, had 11 points and 7 rebounds.
Yeah, so, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say Mira Costa getting after it early on defense. What were you going to say?
No, I was going to say, looking at the team stats, Mira Costa shot 10 more field goals, and automatically I would assume that the 5 rebound differential that they had in the first quarter would have been even larger, but only 6 more rebounds total than Pilibos, so that's certainly not what's happening. Pilibos does have 12 turnovers right now, with Mira Costa only having 5. So while the rebounding wasn't the story in the second quarter, the turnovers for Pilibos were, as that continues here in the second half.
This is going to make Pilibos' work a lot harder, as they just have not been able to figure out a way to get out of this press. But when you put it in Balian's hand, usually good things happen. He goes coast to coast and gets his 15 points of the night. Oh,
that'll count as a shot.
That definitely should count as a shot. Balian pull-up 3 off the back heel.
He's looking. He was 0 for 6 in that first half. Still trying to find his first one of the day. I think if he does start to make one, we might see a Heisman-like performance here as he tries to will Pilibos back 1 basket at a time.
Pilibos falling back into this 2-3 zone. Piulani letting them know that's not going to work out. 30-second timeout taken by the Mustangs. 18-point lead.
Yeah, Mira Costa coach Neil Perlmutter must have not liked something that he saw there, but 18-point lead.
You know, that's the thing that's interesting, obviously. 18-point lead. His team has basically been in control of this game since the opening tip. But I think that obviously Coach Perlmutter and his staff probably are, I don't want to say looking ahead, but trying to make sure that his guys continue to do the little things. They execute, they communicate, they fly around, because obviously it doesn't stop here. And you don't want to build upon bad habits or let anything like that permeate into this game when you've already got a big lead. And that's usually where we see a little bit of complacency. That was how in the previous game that you and I called, Westlake, they were up by as many as 14 in the third quarter of that game, and they ended up losing on a game-winning 3-point shot from Mark Jones. So not something that the Mustangs want to face themselves.
Yeah, Pilibos, they got to make the easy ones there if they want to mount any type of comeback here. But I also imagine Mira Costa wants to, you know, use some of this depth, right? Like, there's still 2 games to go in this tournament. It'll be a 3rd game tomorrow. That's 3rd game in a row. That's a tough slate to keep all of your starters and best players. That's a lot of minutes to log on their legs. So I'm sure he's thinking, let's maybe get a little bit more comfortable here. Let's empty the bench a little bit, and let's give these starters a rest. So as we move forward here,
they got to get it across. And they're not going to be able to do so. That's a 10-second backcourt violation.
Yeah, we were talking a little earlier today about press breaking, and Pilibos is doing a little bit of what you mentioned you hate seeing, right? They're putting one guy back there. Everybody else is going down. They're finding open holes, but it's one guy versus a wall of 3 people. Everywhere he dribbles, they're looking to trap him. He's already a shorter player as it is. Looks like we have a wet ball situation here.
Water ball. Yeah, no, Matt, honestly, as a former guard myself, that's one thing I hated. I hated when I would be out there on the court. I hate watching it now as a spectator and as a fan of the game. You can't leave your guy back there to defeat a press when he's going up against 2, sometimes 3 defenders. And that's what Pilibos has been doing. They've been leaving one player back there for the longest. We got Coach Neil Perlmutter grabbing a.
Is that the mop for dust, or is that the mop for water, though? Because as we learned in the last game, only one mop does dust and only one does water.
Hey, there are differences between the two, that I will tell you. When you have the resources of St. Francis, you got to make sure that things stay in their proper place.
Yeah. And could you imagine getting water on your dust mop? Or worse, getting dust on your water mop?
Now you're tracking, you're tracking dust across the court. It's wet, sticky, doesn't pick up with either mop. It's a bad situation, Matt. I don't think you want to be in that situation.
Yeah, this court is pristine when you look at it.
It's a great court, great facilities overall here at St. Francis.
Shout out to St. Francis and Coach Todd Wolfson. We'll see them later today at the 7:30 game here coming up.
Pull-up 3. Coach Perlmutter wanted a flop call. Not going to get it. Other way, Keely Uani scores the bucket from Mira Costa. Their lead is now the largest of the night, 20 points. 4.5 minutes left to play in the third quarter. And that's going to be backcourt. Looks like the Pilibos player had not established himself in the front court just yet. And another turnover for the Eagles.
Is that the rule? He can't, because he jumped from the other side, caught it in the air, even though he landed, it's still considered backcourt because of where he started?
Yeah, he didn't establish himself in the front court, so he would have needed to cross front court first before he had an opportunity to touch the basketball. And that's why it resulted in that backcourt violation.
That's some good insight there. Mira Costa slowing it down, looking to use some clock here.
Deep 3 off the front rim, and there's another offensive rebound for the Mustangs. They're going to get a fresh 35 and an opportunity to burn more clock.
Yeah, I mean, that's that size, right?
And it looks like there was a miscommunication. De Armas was ready to set the screen.
Good finish there.
It's Honanian right there. That nice high arcing layup to get it over the outstretched arm of Pax Bell. Bell's going to try and hit a 3. 54-33.
That brings Pax Bell to 7 points on the night. Good tough finish there.
Now this is one of those things, I'm sure obviously Pilibos, they're obviously still playing hard. Head coach Savak Andrade, head coach Sarkis Balian.
Bell goes back to back with threes.
I wish I had a pun loaded.
Things are not going Pilibos' way as they take a 30-second timeout here. Seems the
looks like
score. Yeah, I think the score, the way things have been going, are starting to weigh a little bit on Pilibos, and that might be a reaction of frustration that we're seeing a little bit here.
100%. It's a tough situation to be in if you're a team facing a 22-point deficit against a really deep team, against a very athletic team as well. This is one of those games where you got to find some positive. You got to continue to believe in your system and believe in yourself, and really play for each other that are out there on the court. The other 4 guys that are in the trenches with you, so to speak. try and communicate, fly around on defense, get a couple stops. Just, you got to be thinking score, stop, score. That's pretty much it. That's the only way you really get back into a game like this.
Yeah, and as you mentioned too, like they have more games tomorrow too, right? Win or lose, everybody's playing another game tomorrow. You want to make sure that however this game looks on the scoreboard, that you finish strong and you have some momentum going into the next day. For all of you watching, this play is called flip.
Pax Bell thought about taking his third three.
Tough
making it
finish.
easy.
Wow.
It's grown man strength right there.
Yeah,
Grown man strength right
on
there.
the game for him. Yeah, he's well on his way to his potential second player of the game in a row here.
You know, if you're Pilibos, this isn't the time to play timid, Matt. That's the other thing. This is where you got to be aggressive, man. You're in the hole, 24 points. You have 2 minutes left in this third quarter. You got a quarter left of basketball. You got to be aggressive. So obviously, we know Balian's going to be aggressive, but I like it, man. Get the rebound, go back up.
Yeah, I think the double team that Mira Costa's been bringing has caused some issues with Pilibos. As soon as they get across half court, they're doubling whoever has the ball right away. And, you know, the size difference is really affecting Pilibos there because you're getting 6'5" against, you know, some of these 5'10", 5'11", 5'7" even. It's tough to see over that, find your open teammate. Real frustrating night, I'm sure, for any Pilibos fan.
France with a nice move and drop off to Hammerschmidt.
Great play.
And free throws are coming right up. Foul by number 20, Dimo Galagian, fourth personal, second team foul. Luke Hammerschmidt, shooting 2.
Don't forget, coming up next, we do have another marquee matchup for you on the championship side of the bracket. Long Beach Poly will take on Oaks Christian for the 6 o'clock game.
Yeah, Poly had their way with Santa Monica last night, led by their Cal signee, Giovanni Ruff. I imagine they're going to look to hopefully do some of the same, but that Oaks Christian team beat a great Bakersfield Christian team yesterday and came back from behind. So I imagine Poly's going to have a dogfight on their hands.
It should be an intense one, to say the least. Two very athletic teams, coached very well. And for the nightcap, we have host St. Francis and Agora High School, featuring Ethan Klopp, who had a tourney-high 46 points last night in their victory against the Kings Academy. So a lot of great basketball still to come your way. Pilibos trying to get some pressure of their own, leads to a bucket that danced on the rim for a while, but then finally dropped, Matt.
Just enough English on that one.
About a 5-second differential between the shot and the game clock. Mira Costa looks like they're holding it out till the last possible second to get the best look for them. And it's going to be a foul on the Pilibos Eagles. It'll be a baseline out of bounds.
11 seconds to go here in this third quarter. Again, this is the second of 4 quarterfinal games we have today in the championship bracket of the St. Francis Holiday Hoopfest. Nice pass and score there.
What a play. Balian literally triple teamed in the backcourt. Doesn't matter. He's going to put it up. And that one's going to kiss nothing but the win. 61-37. Mira Costa with a comfortable 24-point lead, Matt. One more period of play in this one. Mira Costa, pretty much, if you're doing what you're going to want to continue to do what you're doing. If you're Pilibos, is now the time you're playing for consolation? Or are you trying to just execute some things, get any type of rhythm going? What are you telling your team if you're the Pilibos Eagles?
Yeah, I think, again, we got to be thinking about our game tomorrow, right? And not only our game tomorrow, but the rest of this season. This is one game. We haven't come out great and played our best. A lot of our, Balian, while he has a great game on paper, hasn't maybe shot as well as he would hope for, or even his team would have hoped for as well. So let's start trying to trend in a little bit of the way we want to play. Let's forget the score and let's go back to our basics. Let's think about what we wanted to accomplish when we came into this. Let's try and accomplish that, finish with a strong fourth quarter, and set the tone for tomorrow and, most importantly, the rest of the season going forward, as we still are so early on in this year.
I agree, Matt. I think it's so easy, especially obviously as players, right? Players want to win every game, and coaches want to win every game as well. I'm sure the fans and parents of these players want to win every game as well. But that's so important that you mentioned it. This is one game in a holiday tournament of the season. There's still a lot of basketball to be played on both sides. There's going to be some great games probably to be played for both of these teams. So you want to do as much as you can to take the positives away from it. Pilibos will still have 2 more games in this tournament. This will not be the end of their run. So even if they're unable to come back from this 24-point deficit, they still will have to get ready to play another game tomorrow and kind of have that 24-hour memory, so to speak.
Yeah, and thank you, Miss Mitchell and Mr. Mueller, for your kind words. Sorry to hear that you're home with the flu. Jacob has had another fantastic game. Not sure if we'll get to see him much more in this fourth quarter with the lead as it is. But if we do, hopefully he can treat us all to a nice dunk.
Grands takes a hard fall. Looks like he appears to be okay. Awkwardly landed on the foot of Balian. He'll go to the line to shoot too.
I think Balian's knee actually kind of supported his fall there more so. Usually when you see, back or head to knee, it results in more damages. But I think in that case, it actually helped cushion the fall a little bit.
Those 2 free throws go down for Christian Kranz.
That takes him to 6 points on the game. That goes along with 3 assists for him as well.
Balian just has been cold from 3 all night, Matt. He's shooting 9 of 25 from the floor, and he's now 0 for 13 from 3. I mean, just one of those games as he checks out potentially for the remainder of this game. Just a difficult situation for that young man and his teammates. Had a lot on his shoulders, played his heart out, was able to contribute 19 points, but Mira Costa Mustangs are very well coached, very disciplined, and were pretty much able to neutralize all of his teammates.
Yeah, Balian didn't find his shot throughout tonight, really throughout both of these games. I'm sure he will either tomorrow or Monday. I'm sure he's not feeling great, but He did play his heart out, as you mentioned, and really did a lot of other things, right? I think he has 12 rebounds on the game.
Yeah.
Good finish there.
There's a nice layup for the Eagles.
Tough take there by Luke Lowell. Looking to get himself on the board here with these 2 free throw attempts.
6.5 minutes remaining in this one. And if Mira Costa is able to hold on to his 26-point lead, they will go on and face the winner of St. Francis and Agora Hills. They are the nightcap game. We will be bringing that one to you at 7:30 this evening. Should be another great matchup.
Yeah, didn't get to see a ton out of St. Francis in that first game against Eastside. They won pretty handily. So excited to see what it looks like against Agora Hills. As you mentioned, Agora Hills with the 46-point score from yesterday. So definitely should see some fireworks.
Should be an exciting one as well. Where's looks like a body foul.
Yeah, it looked like they called a push on that one.
He fouled out. That was David Boyajian. He was another player as well who had a solid performance on the evening. Was the second leading scorer for the Pilibos Eagles with 10. That three's no good. Rebound collected by the Eagles, and this is the first time the Eagles have really had the opportunity to bring it up without much pressure from the Mustangs, as this game is pretty much in control for Mira Costa.
Yeah. Mira Costa's press was effective all night, even to this point here, right? We got the trap here at the top of half court. Sped Pilibos up. They were able to get a foul and shoot here, but again, moving maybe a little bit faster than they want to originally play on offense.
Matt, we got Jacob De Armas coming back into the game. We might actually get that poster after all. He had a great dunk in their first game against St. Bonnie's.
I mean, that's why we got to put him back in, right? To make sure that
That's
we average at least one dunk a game.
I mean, come on.
That was potentially a line violation.
I think, yeah, I think
but
we got a double violation here.
What is the call? Oh, is it a double violation?
It looks like, yeah, looks like a double violation.
Is the free throw good?
Yep, so they're going to just award the basketball to Pilibos.
Is that how that works?
I honestly was going to ask you. I've never seen that happen. I've never seen a double lane violation resulting in a possession. Normally,
I would have thought he would have shot that again. You know,
I
offsetting
would've
penalties.
And
I've used a lot of football references here today, but
I think that's exactly what the Mira Costa parents are arguing as well.
Yeah, I heard.
Since when did they make that rule update?
I heard Coach Perlmutter ask the referee right now if he can explain the situation to him. Oh, it looks like it becomes a jump ball, is I think what I saw referenced.
Oh, okay.
We'll see if the possession arrow changes here on the inbound. But I think that was the hand signal that I saw.
They haven't changed the possession arrow. We do have another foul. And the Mira Costa parents voicing their disapproval, but so that's an interesting note. We might have to look that one up because I've never seen it. First off, I don't know if I've ever seen a double lane violation, to be completely honest with you, but I would have figured they would have awarded the free throw shooter just another free throw instead of the team an additional possession.
I don't know if you can have a double lane violation either, at least in that scenario, because it looked like the Mira Costa defender had stepped and put his hand, not stepped, he fell with his arms forward before the shot occurred.
There's an official jump ball, and maybe you're right. They didn't flip the arrow, but the refs are indicating it's Mira Costa basketball. Hold on, there's a conference here. We've got a lot going on.
Yeah, we got a ref coming to the table here, so maybe we're gonna get an explanation.
Yeah.
Nailed it. So we were correct earlier. The double line violation resulted in a jump ball possession, which is why Pilibos got it from the start. The table was never motioned or alerted of that, and so it was never changed. And so on that jump ball there, while the arrow was still pointed towards Pilibos' way, the referee came over and explained exactly what had happened and why Mira Costa should be awarded the ball just then.
Excellent breakdown, Seska, as always. Just under 5 minutes left to play. Pilibos kind of sneaking back into this one. I mean, it's a 23-point deficit, but they're on a little bit of a run here. Those free throws have helped out. They force a turnover right there. Coach Perlmutter, he's getting some reinforcement. Christian Kranz is about to come back into the game as well.
Yeah, he saw Balian walk over to check in, and he did not want any part of Balian catching any type of rhythm here.
Listen, 4.5 minutes is an eternity in high school basketball, and Coach Perlmutter is making sure that this one stays exactly where it is in the hands of the Mira Costa Mustangs, or the hooves, I guess I should say, of the Mustangs.
That was a good pun there.
There's a pun, and there's an and one from Jacob De Armas. Not a bang out, but still a great play nonetheless. 20 points, the high score for the game. Has an opportunity to get his 21st bucket at the line.
I think that's why they brought him back in. Let's get him to 20 points, solid round number. Now we can take him out.
Ethical hoops right there. That's ethical hoops on behalf of head coach Neil Perlmutter. When you got a guy that's close to a nice whole even number, like a 20 ball, you got to let your guy go for it.
Yeah, you got to appreciate that as a player.
Oh, yeah. Another great game for Jacob De Armas.
Oh, nice block.
He sent that package back to the sender. And it looks like that will conclude his evening as he heads to the scores table. Jack Mondello, as well as Luke Lowell, get a chance to check into the game.
Returning for the Mustangs, Jack Mondello and Luke Lowell. In for the Animas and Riker.
Grandma Nancy gets to see both of her grandchildren play now as Royce checks into the game.
There we go. That's what the holidays are for. Pax did his part, contributed a couple of three-pointers earlier in the half. See if Royce gets an opportunity to get a bucket or two here.
Krantz going to work. Looks like we had a bump of the hip there. Krantz will shoot two. 4 minutes to go here. Oaks Christian waiting at the door for this game to end to begin warming up for another marquee matchup. We have the 6 o'clock game here, Long Beach Poly versus Oaks Christian. Should be a heavyweight battle.
Balian collects the rebound. And there's a bucket on the other end for the Eagles. First points of the evening for Duran Kasparian.
And we are happy to be live streaming the St. Francis Holiday Hoop Fest. Not only will we be streaming the rest of the games today, but we will be streaming all of tomorrow's games as well as all of Monday's games to close out the St. Francis Holiday Hoop Fest. We'll be taking Sunday off, as will this tournament, so everybody go and enjoy your Sundays, get some much needed holiday relaxation in.
It's kind of nice that they do that. I don't know if I've ever been part of a tournament that takes the Sunday off, gets these players an extra day of rest. They will have played 3 straight days back to back to back. So a nice chance for them to recharge their batteries, get off their feet, hopefully. Come in ready to play for those final Monday matchups.
Yeah, I certainly was excited when I heard that we had a day off. Good take there, but couldn't quite finish.
Oh. Valian tried to drop off a dime to Kasparian. That one's deflected off.
Tough day for Valian.
Very tough day, and there's a nice bucket right there from Luke Lowell. .120 seconds left in this one, partner. Mira Costa again is going to move on and play the winner of St. Francis and Agora. If you're Coach Neil Perlmutter, what are you telling your team after this one? Obviously, you have a game tomorrow that you need to stay fresh, mentally sharp for. This one pretty much was in control from off the rip. What are you telling your guys to make sure they stay focused and come out ready to play with high energy tomorrow?
Good game, first and foremost. Way to execute the plan. Let's enjoy it for the rest of the evening. I believe the game tomorrow, we can find out what time that is exactly here. They will play at 6 p.m. tomorrow. So, like I said, enjoy the night. Tomorrow, let's refocus up. I'm sure he already has a game plan on either or of his opponents ready to go. So first thing in the morning at shoot around, let's focus on the game plan and let's just continue to execute at the high level that we've been. I think from yesterday's game to today, definitely improvements from Mira Costa. So I imagine let's keep building on that.
I like it. I like it. On the flip side, as we mentioned, Pilibos, their day is, or their tournament is not over either. They will play at 10:30 tomorrow morning, and they will face either the loser of Kings Academy. Well, Kings Academy won earlier today. Eastside lost.
Yeah, we're getting to the point in the bracket where it's going to potentially be hard to figure out exactly where the losers go on the Constellation side.
Oh, yeah, that's true, because they technically won, so then they bounce, so then it would be from loser from game 5. Yeah, this is
where the complication begins.
Yeah, this is a challenge right here.
But luckily, it's not our job to figure that out, and we do have the brain capacity to figure out at least where the winners are going.
That's very true. They will actually, I think I figured it out. They will have an opportunity to play for the 5th place game. They'll play the loser of the final game this evening. So it was correct. It was maybe St. Francis and.
Do we have a
Agora
time
Hills.
of where they're playing?
They will be playing tomorrow at 12 o'clock.
just got some exclusive news that the bracket is actually going to change a little bit for tomorrow based on some of these teams being within the same league together.
Oh, wow.
That's an exclusive update for all of us watching.
Well, that'll add a wrinkle to the tournament. What remains unwrinkled is Mira Costa's record. 2-0, 79, 53-point victory. Stay tuned if you can. We've got another great one. Oaks Christian is going to take on Long Beach Poly. Should be another great game. We'll be back in just a moment, I think.
Yeah, thank you again for joining us. As Lex mentioned, we're coming back for 2 great games coming up here, a 6 o'clock and then a 7:30. Thank you again for tuning in. We look forward to seeing you on the next one.
Championship bracket quarterfinal contest in the St. Francis Holiday Hoopfest.